Thanks to Ethan at Future Classic Cars, it is my pleasure to bring to you today this 2001 USDM Acura Integra Type-R. I don't even know where to start off with this car. In the very brief time I've been able to drive this car, this thing is fun. Oh man. One of the first things that sticks out to you about this car is, well, the color. Like, take one look at this car and you're just like, boom! Eyeball explosion. It's so awesome. These cars were actually in production from 1997 to 1998. They took a break in 99 and then started producing them again in 2000 and then 2001. This is the last year that this car was produced. And they actually didn't produce a whole lot of these cars, so this is kind of a rare car. It's kind of a big deal. And with the quality and the condition this car is in, it is a gem. The high-revving B18 C5 that is in this car is a 1.8 liter inline four, and I have to say it's got a lot of character for having 200 horsepower or something along those lines from the factory. That 200 horsepower is applied through a 5-speed manual, and I have to say, it's such an easy transmission. The clutch is really easy to use. It's very easy to shift. Now, with these older Hondas, the third gear synchro doesn't always want to give you love back to you whenever you're driving it, but that's only whenever you're driving it really hard and when you're doing really, really hard shifting. Oh yeah, that's fun. That is a lot of fun. So, I mean, this car isn't really fast by any means, but I like it because unlike cars like the BRZ, where, you know, it doesn't have a lot of power, the power band that these cars have aren't mind-numbingly boring. Every time you're high up in the RPMs, you're kind of excited to shift, and you're excited to see what the next gear has to offer for you. It's very cool in that aspect. One reason I absolutely love this car is because it was during the time period when cars like this were just made to be extremely raw. It's really fun because, you know, it doesn't have any stability control, it doesn't have any traction control, it doesn't have any of that. While it does have power steering, it really makes you feel just really engaged. It makes you feel really engaged with the road and really involved with the driving, and I really like cars like this from that era. It kind of makes you feel like the car that you're driving is an extra limb. Oh, this is great. So it does have a little bit of understeer, but that is primarily due to the fact that this car has all-season tires on it right now. Unfortunately, if this car had some nice summer tires on it, this car would be a blast to drive. Oddly enough, with the front-wheel drive, aside from the tires, you really don't feel a big sense of understeer, especially just from the suspension and chassis. It kind of washes out from you just because it is kind of an old car, and with these cars, the steering does get a little bit more saturated, I guess you could say, over time, but it's a very easy car to drive, and honestly, it is a driver's car, and I love that about this car. So a couple things that I really like that are specific to the Type-R. Now, you've got the regular Integra, and then you've got the Type-R. This car is special. For one, right here on the armrest, these cars are actually numbered, and whenever you're searching for these, or whenever you get one of these, you know that it's a genuine Type-R because it's got the number on the armrest. These seats that I'm sitting in are actually the JDM Japanese Recaros. They're not the ones that came with the USDM package, but he actually does have the USDM ones still. And I really, really love the way these things look. And they're really, really nice. Like, these are actual racing seats. I really get the sense that this car was quite literally designed to feel like a race car from factory. And people are going to hate me saying that, but it's really true. From the seats, just to the way this car was designed, I mean, you have carbon fiber on the inside. I mean, this is all factory. It is so cool. So if and when you open up the hood, you pop the hood, the Integra Type-Rs have a red valve cover. Aside from that, and that's from factory, aside from that, these things came with factory strut bars on the front and the rear, and they have rear chassis, just brace supports in the back hatch. Not to mention, I've got this giant crazy wing that you guys can actually see right here in the back. It's so cool. Oddly enough, this little car feels like somewhat of a race car. And also I want to add, you know, you have the wing, you have all that kind of cool stuff. This is actually the only Integra that Honda made from the DC2 chassis that had big brakes like these. These brakes are actually, they work extremely well. It's kind of like that girl in high school where you really don't have any idea why you had a crush on her. You just had a crush on her because you pretty much thought she was awesome. But this actually is awesome. This was the girl that should have been worth chasing after. I want to take this out on a road course or just some insane mountainous just back roads, and I want to drive the crap out of this thing because it's one of those cars where you just need to feel, you need to see more. I need to see what this thing does because it is awesome. It's easy to downshift, it's easy to drive, you feel a part of the road. As dangerous as this is to say, it's really kind of like it's really a car that you can't really make a mistake on. I really don't like saying that. I actually really kind of regret saying that to the internet, but it really kind of is. And it just really encourages spirited driving. I have to roll down the windows here. It's such a manageable car, and I love it because it's like, it's always asking to be revved higher. Oh man, this is great. This is great. Big tech! That was great. There we go. So I had a little bit of understeer there, but that was entirely due to the tires, which is okay. It's so much fun, and it's such a raw, not powerful, but rewarding car, and there's really not a replacement for that. It's not something that you want to put a big turbo on and make a straight line car because that would just ruin it. It's something you have to, it's just, I don't know, it's one of those things you really can't understand unless you just experience it. So with all of that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2001 Acura Integra Type-R. If you have not already hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that because joining the Shanks Squad will change your life. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next video. Peace out, Shanks Squad. Yeah.